Today is August 23rd, 2015, and I had a very interesting experience. This video is about the educated black Queen. I don't know why he spelled it this way, but this guy's great. Yash Karad, black child. Um, I'm a photographer, and tonight I was able to shoot Bernie Sanders again for the second time. This is the first time, much closer this time. The first time. I got pictures of the event coming up. But anyway, um, this is me. This is essentially what I wore to the convention tonight. Um, my family doesn't like it. um, but I don't care because I didn't ask them for the money for it. And you can dress whatever way you want to dress when you go out. Don't dress thinking that everybody's not going to like the way you dress. And if you don't like the way you dress, that's the worst part. So anyhow, um, just talking about the educated black women. They make sure that at an event like that, they don't make eye contact with me. They, all the news people from around the country, all the other people were talking to me. Not all, but I mean, you know what I mean? I've got some cards, some numbers, Facebook friends, hugs, kisses, dances. But then they show up. They are the minority. There was a thing with Straight Outta Compton where they did a casting call of the different grades of black women, and the light-skinned black woman apparently was the A grade. The light-skinned, the half-white black woman, very a little definitely lighter than this. This one would have been a C grade or a B grade by their standards. And black women said they need to boycott Straight Outta Compton. They need to boycott hair weaves, but that's another subject. This is me. You can see why white women love me. I'm a superhero. This is a ABC report. And the main thing, Cynthia McFadden, the main thing about this one is that you're not going to see any big fat black women. That the average ones, these are the ones that work that try to tech, the ones that are coming up, the ones that think they're really good looking. They think they're good looking, not that they're not good looking, but they think they are. They think that their status somehow makes them a good catch just because they're educated and good looking. That's all you have to offer to a relationship, in my opinion.
A baby carriage, to paraphrase those famous lyrics, but for millions of black women, many blessed with brains and beauty, finding the right man is proving elusive. But why? Are their standards too high, or are the pickings too slim? Lindsay Davis tried to answer that question. Birthday! Make a wish. Nicole Marchand is celebrating another birthday. At 31, she's accomplished a lot. She's a prosecuting attorney and running for state court judge. It'll be a $500 fine. Nicole isn't the kind of woman you'd find standing by on the sidelines of life. But you would find her here, at the Georgia Dome, cheering on the Atlanta Falcons. You've heard of a man's man. Nicole is the quintessential man's woman. She appears to have it all, and yet she's.
You can keep that hair weave, and I would not be nice to her, but she, and like a lot of other black women like her, they're attractive. They're not. You're not. That doesn't mean you're attracted to their surface qualities. the miseducation, the lack of community concern. I digress. It's not.
Single. 42% of black women have never been married. That's double the number of never married white women. I look forward to the day. I look forward to being married. It's just not that easy. For starters, there are more black women than black men. 1.8 million more. So even if every black man in America married a black woman today, 1 out of 12 still wouldn't make it down the aisle. Let's take 100 black men. If you eliminate those without a high school diploma, those without a job, and the number of black men between the ages of 25 and 34 who are incarcerated, that leaves only about half of black men eligible to pop the question. Nicole sees the problem.
I'm not unemployed. Well, yeah. I haven't had a job, since 2010. But I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing. I went to college. I acquired photography skills, photography equipment. Um, as I said earlier, I just shot Bernie Sanders. This is the most creative and the best years of my life. Looking at some things that I've been interested in doing in the homeless arena. This is when I talked to Bernie Sanders about. I have the video. The video's in there, around there in my videos. You can look at it. But you know, these statistics that they throw around, it's different from what I see. When I see community involvement, generally they're more African American males at the rallies. Unless, I mean, tonight at Bernie Sanders, I swear it was a Republican convention. You know, I got pictures of it, and that's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother video. But yeah, um, you don't have to say, you don't have to qualify yourself when somebody makes a points the finger or makes an accusation. But these stats they throw out, they're not anybody. They're not very few people that I know.
It is sad to see that the majority of the defendants that we prosecute are black males. Those numbers can be very disappointing.
Admittedly, the selection of men is slim. Get it through your head. You're the flabby girl that's just for sex. That's what you are.
We broached this serious dilemma with comedian turned relationship guru Steve Harvey, author of the book Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man.
There are still a lot of good men out there who are being overlooked.
Harvey says black women don't have to settle, but may need to compromise.
You're a corporate.
That's another pebble in my shoe with the dynamics that is the relationship with the black man and the modern, not I always gotta preface, the black women in the 70s were like beautiful and with it and down like 4 flat tires, you know, 2 is 1. Not these. They're the ones that are more likely to discriminate against you when I go places, at Trident Tech College, anywhere. They're the ones that are gonna be not the nicest to you. And that's always fine. But what is a good black man? You know, what is a good black woman? What is a good black anything? What is a good person? You know, I guess that's a legitimate question, but I don't hear it attached to, like, it's like, where's the father? Blame everything on the person who's not there.
Does he have to be a corporate exec? You make $150,000 a year. He has to make 150 or above? That's your requirement? If your requirement sheet is ridiculous, you have to look at it.
What we looked at were the large numbers of professional black women who groomed themselves for success with BAs, MDs, and JDs. 70% of them are still without the more elusive title, MRA. I would be lying if I said that I don't have fleeting thoughts of, okay, I'm 32, my clock is ticking. The tick-tock of the biological clock is getting louder for several of Nicole's single friends. Meet Mgtow Waters. She's a 32-year-old high school counselor pursuing...
Now, I have something to say about everything. I'm gonna have to do a couple of parts of this video because I don't want this, video to be so long. However, the content dictates the duration. And anyhow, notice how she doesn't say that she wants to have children because she loves children and she wants to nurture a life. She says, "My clock is ticking." That sounds attractive, doesn't it?
Settle, but may need to compromise.
You a corporate exec? Does he have to be a corporate exec? You make $150,000 a year. He has to make 150 or above? That's your requirement? If your requirement sheet is ridiculous, you have to look at it.
What we looked at were the large numbers of professional black women who groomed themselves for success with BAs, MDs, and JDs. 70% of them are still without the more elusive title, MRA. I would be lying if I said that I don't have fleeting thoughts of, okay, I'm 32, my clock is ticking. The tick-tock of the biological clock is getting louder for several of Nicole's single friends. Meet Mgtow Waters. She's a 32-year-old high school counselor pursuing a doctorate degree in psychology. We have this.
They're so cold. There's nothing against Mgtow. I don't like your name. I have a jacket like that though, in a blazer. But that wouldn't mean if we saw each other dressed the same way that we would like each other. Because we have anyhow. I don't like her. I mean, she's cute, definitely attractive. If I drank enough, a couple of 40s, you know what I'm saying, I would hit that. When I was out of my mind, I wouldn't be like I was laying down with a. She's not a unattractive human being, and so the one next to her. But anyway, the part I want to deal with is that she says, "My clock is ticking," as I said earlier. It's like that's the reason why you want to make love and have a baby and get married, because your clock is ticking. What about, like I said, a baby? Everybody else in the world knows that babies are beautiful and they smell like babies and they're just perfect, and you just want to just direct them in the path that they should go, and you just love them because they look like you. I have a niece that looks just like me. I mean, for a long time, people would always look at her and go, "Oh, you look just like Erica, your niece." Blah 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 blah. So, yeah, that's all I had to say about that.
The black girl curse. A lot of our white friends are married by 25, like happily married. Kids by 27, and we're like, what is the deal with the BGs? And that's the black girl. Jean Ashford is a chemist for a pharmaceutical company. Now that she's 34, she's lowered the bar when it comes to height requirements. I don't have a certain criteria, like if you're not 6'5", and I used to, but then as I got older, I said, okay, well maybe if you're 6'3".
This is basically her saying, I mean, I don't have a problem with people liking different dimensions, you know what I mean? But I would rather be with a girl, I don't care what she looks like. If she shoots pool, she does graphics, special effects videos, she does stuff like that, yeah. But just some chick that went through the NBA team. Well, that first girl, I was with Tim Duncan, because he was over 6'5", and that's way exceeding my standards. But then he didn't want to get married, so after our relationship and us having sex like 55 million times, I went to the shooting guard, to the forward, to the strong forward. Now he's 6'5", that's my perfect standards. But all he wanted to do was play video games and send me shopping. So then, honey, after having sex with him like 55 million times, then I went down to the shooting guards. I know they're like 6'3", 6'4", so I'm lowering my standards, but they are still an NBA girl and they do have money. So anyway, um, this is her. She's proud of her little sliding scale, but which she think has no application to her, who she is, her standards. Maybe her reality is meeting her standards.
Okay, maybe we can see eye to eye. I kind of have certain standards that I hold myself to, and I don't feel like I should have to settle on those for the sake of having somebody. I'm willing to wait.
Like many black men, she's also open to dating outside her race. In fact, in the past decade, the number of black women entering interracial marriage has more than doubled.
In fact, last night was at a restaurant.
Okay, I don't have anything against the white man, but if I did, I would give you the black woman. Oh yeah, the Bernie Sanders rally today. Um, they always put black women out front. You know what I mean? They always put them out front with that. And Bernie Sanders, I just want everybody to give it up, and I just want everybody here. That's right. Cause I'm telling you, Black Lives Matter. Even though your children may have had troubles, and you too, and you, and you, and you. Only Black Lives Matter. What the? Anyway, forgive me. Black Lives Matter. Everybody's lives matter. Why does that have to be brought up? Why don't they bring up the fact that most of these black icons or martyrs or whatever were criminals? They weren't marching for the hungry, feeding the hungry, or like doing something noble when they got killed. They were freaking running from the police or freaking hanging out, whatever that is, whatever kind of fucking euphemism that is. Anyway,
Had a great conversation with this Caucasian gentleman. I mean, we were vibing, we were clicking. I'm thinking, he's gonna ask for my number. White men never ask my number. And he was like, all right, well, great conversation. You know, maybe I'll see you around. I was thinking, what happened? Where he is? No.
Some black were maybe not as coveted as black men in society. Melinda Watson is a 28-year-old payroll specialist. She hasn't had an exclusive relationship since college.
I just feel that there's a lot of taboo associated with dating black women because I don't think they're necessarily going to want to take us home to see mama.
The consensus in this group was that their preference is to marry a black man. It's not that they can't find one to date. The issue in many cases is exclusivity.
You meet these great guys, you have a good relationship, good rapport, and then it's almost like, I'm going to keep you around, and hopefully when I'm ready.
because you know what? Although you're good looking and you're educated, you might like the air quotes because I'm doing air quotes right now. Although you're educated, when you give up the booty, all right. If you had not been a whore, cause I can't imagine that all of you all in there are not single mothers. But I would be. It would be crazy. It would be beyond the expectations of extrapolation to say that none of you girls, those single girls in there, had children. Maybe more than one or two or three. So the reason why is that you probably I doubt that you're a virgin. All right, I doubt it, and that's if you had held out, you would have been married by now. If you had held out and not given up the booty, you would have been married to probably Tim Duncan.
Settle down, you'll be there. That's the back pocket girl. The back pocket girl. And every now and then they'll check in with you to make sure you're still single. You're not married, right? Are you still single? Right. You still waiting on? No, not really.
Mgtow hasn't been in a committed relationship in more than a decade.
If you have 4 qualities.
Did you see her underscore committed? You guys, can you not hear and see what they're doing to you? And like I said at the beginning of the video, they didn't put up. I wish I had this video right now. I had to clear off my computer, but It's in my videos. How far have modern black women fallen? There was this big old fat, and I like fat girls. Don't get me wrong. Some people. I've been called fat. Um, I don't know. I don't look fat. Maybe now I do. This is me. Yeah. So I don't have. I mean, I don't mean to, but this girl was not. This is more that basically. Long story short, that girl and 4 or 5 other girls like her should have been up there. Not these, because this is not the average looking black woman. The average looking black woman is obese.
That you're dating and, they're in rotation. I mean, who's going to rush into a marriage?
We decided to ask Mr. Harvey for advice. He listened as we asked our single ladies about their requirements.
I had a list of about 50 things that I would keep in my Bible. It's now down to about 10. Honesty, supportive, financially stable. Now, granted, I'm 31, so he needs to be at a certain stage. What do you consider a deal breaker? If there's not that initial chemistry, it's never going to work. I don't care if you have every quality on my list. I'm not going to talk to you if I'm not attracted to you.
Right. Are they asking too much?
The lady that we wanted all of them to look at this. Throw your hands up. How y'all doing?
Initial reaction?
All y'all fine. Hell, who don't want to go out with y'all? Me and my age have made a mistake in that we didn't teach the generation behind us the principles of manhood. There are so many African American men missing, absent in the family.
His advice? Go for the older man.
You have a biological clock. We don't.
While these women look forward to settling down, they're not willing to settle.
The one thing that I can't control is a man choosing to marry me, and so I choose not to worry about it. Being that I've waited so long, I can't settle now. It's not an option for me. I would love to be in a relationship or marriage, but I don't feel that defines me. So if I don't find the perfect person for me, then I'll I'm
Lindsay Davis for Nightline in Atlanta, Georgia.
That was a very, very interesting video. Very interesting video. It seems as though it's okay just to dog black men. I mean, that was pure male misandry at its finest. That was a very, very partial analysis. They didn't discuss the pool of eligibles for black men, such as 50% of black women have herpes. What man would marry a woman with herpes? Only a savage would do that. Obesity and overweight women, for black women, the percent constitutes roughly 80%. 4 out of 5 black women are either obese or overweight. What type of man marries fat bitches? Well, I guess, let me take that back. It is some black men who are chubby chasers. Shit. They must have a field day in America, because 80% of black women are fat or obese. Let's not talk about all the other statistics of black women, the attitudes, the utter disrespect they show, the uncouth behavior they exhibit. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But see, to my Mgtow brothers, as social scientists have always said, from the anthropological perspective, from the sociological perspective, women practice hypergamy. Because if you notice, they canceled out all men that didn't have a job or was not educated, because she's educated. And the thing is, I don't have a big issue with the fact that these women are
miseducated. They have convinced black women that their highest calling is not nurturing their children, that their highest calling is being the CEO. 5 figures, 6 figures. Huh? 7 figures. That's her highest calling, not her children, which I'm well documented on that subject.
Selective on just choosing black men, but I will say this, and I know many of my pro-blacks and hoteps gonna be saying I knew this nigga was a self-hating nigga. But I got to say this, it is, in my opinion, in my humblest opinion, better for a black woman to marry outside of her so-called social construct race than to lay with a savage and be a single mom. And that kid suffers because he doesn't have a father. Let me repeat that. It is a better decision to marry outside your race than to go and have a child by a savage. Because that child will suffer without having a father, no matter how educated the woman is. Studies have proven that for the last 30 decades.
Did you hear that? No matter how educated you are, and as always, I say, don't believe this guy. Don't believe Black Child. Don't believe Yash Kara. Do not believe them. Don't believe me. Look around for yourself. Open your eyes.
Decades, 30 years. See, these black women, these educated black women, they want to be men. They want to be men. So the men that are in the so-called same class bracket, right? The reasons why he won't settle down with her is because when a woman gets over 30 and she's trying to find a man that's in her 30s, men at that time have wised up. They got their education. They're solid in their career. They have acquired certain assets or pursuing certain assets. So in their mind, they could choose pretty much any woman they want to choose. And this is why they choose younger women. A 35-year-old engineer is shooting for 27, 26-year-olds. And these black women in that same age group would shame him and say, oh, you can't deal with a real woman, so you go get a young woman. That's the power of a woman. The shaming tactics on the guilt trip of a man. You can't allow a woman to do that. See, black women are undesired because of their behavior. They're not feminine type women. Now I understand there's a lot of causalities that explain that, but that still doesn't change the input, the output, what it is today. I can speak for myself personally, being an African American male, educated. I've dealt with these educated black women. And if you take away her good English, you take away her, her income, you take those things away, you got a fucking Nicki Minaj. You got a savage. They pride themselves on their education and income attainment as if that's how men rate women. Only beta males look for shit like that. Alpha males don't give a fuck how much money you make, how many degrees you got on the wall. He wants to see, how do you think? Do you have...
A beta male is alpha male is the leader of the pack. The omega male is the person who doesn't give a fuck about the pack. This is such a good video. I'm going to continue to watch it, and I'm going to roll out and disseminate the rest of it. I have to make my videos long, but sometimes, like I said, the content dictates the duration. Today is August 23rd, 2015. I always say, do not believe me. Do not believe anybody else. Read the scriptures or find some objective truth. Objective truth is we shouldn't kill each other. We shouldn't lie to each other. I think every person should be able to agree that that is a truth. And there are many more objective truths out there. Stay away from the black woman, the educated black woman, the uneducated one. Stay away from them. As far as sex, don't make babies with them, but help them, love them. Um, see yourself, your behavior, and what they do. Good night.